Hello! Today's the 6th Christmas video in a loosely defined series that I've made this month, and if you want to see the other days where I've painted different gifts, I'll link the playlist down below. Today's is going to be a little different from what I had originally planned. Unfortunately, I decided that one of the gifts didn't need the painting job that I thought it did, so I had to come up with something last minute to be able to post for today. Thus, Christmas cards. The first part of this video will be me making and struggling with stationery supplies to make cute cards for my nearby friends and family that I'll be able to drop off without having to pay postage. And then the second half is dedicated to me painting on some watercolor postcards for my friends that are a little further away. First thing I wanted to address is that early on when I was getting out my pen supplies, I accidentally poked myself with an X-Acto knife head. I have these replacement heads in a tube that I keep in my pen bag, but somehow, and I honestly have no idea how, this bag doesn't get jostled around or anything, but the tube cap came off and the knife head spilled into the bag unbeknownst to me. I pricked my pinky finger pretty good and had to go get a Band-Aid pretty much right after starting to film. So if that says anything about this video, yeah. As it is, I'm hoping the thing I want to use for the video that goes up Christmas Day comes in soon. I still haven't gotten a shipping statement, so it's not looking too likely. So if you have any ideas for a video to go up on Christmas Day, let me know. Otherwise, there might not be a video. We'll see. Anyway, this first half will probably go pretty quick because there's a decent amount to cut. I got new washi tape, but it was in this dispenser, which I thought was a cool idea at first until I tried to get any tape out of it, or use the razor edge to cut the tape, or retract the tape when I pull out too much. So, yeah. These are from Walmart, so that probably tells you all you need to know. But the actual tape itself is great. It looks neat, and I stuck some of the opening pieces of it into the last page of my sketchbook. That's right, another sketchbook finished. There will be another sketchbook tour soon. Off track, though. I also had these gold and silver acrylic paint markers that I used to create the little doodles on the cards. I didn't really plan any of them beforehand. I don't know how to do brush lettering, and my usual right-handed handwriting isn't exactly holiday card worthy, and doing any of this left-handed feels like it would smear too easily, which is exactly what I don't want. So I used some of the fonts I've used in my bullet journal before and called it good. And yes, I'll be showing off my bullet journal too, starting the new year. But that's going off track again, so I think I'm just going to sit back and let the video play until we get to a point where I'm painting the postcards. So be back in a bit. I'm back to start the postcards. I'm using the Strathmore watercolor postcards. You can buy them in a pad of 15, and I think on Amazon you can buy a pack of like 3 pads, so like 45 postcards for like $15 or something, 12. I don't know the exact details since I ended up only buying 1 pad of cards. Either way, these are totally worth it. It's my first time using Strathmore watercolor paper, but it handles water pretty well and color blooms and spreads more easily than the other watercolor paper I've used, which at this point only includes Canson and Artist Loft, so not a great reference point, but at least I have some sort of reference. Anyway, this might be a bit repetitious. I mean, the entire video has been, but it was a super last minute idea, so I mean, what do you expect? But I do another mushroom watercolor painting for the first postcard. Not all of them feature mushrooms, I promise. I'm not going to show myself making all of them. I chose 2 and filmed them and was satisfied enough with how they turned out, so I will show those. And I've discovered I have this weird knack for painting mushrooms. So yeah, I guess I'll take it. I chose this one for my friend because I showed them one of my other mushroom paintings and they had said they really liked them. They also suggested I make a little book of scientific drawings in that style with a bunch of different flora and fungi. And not gonna lie, I'd seriously consider it if it was something people wanted. I'd have to do a lot of practice and figure out how that would be useful at all, but it is still something that I think is cute. I'll keep it in mind. Maybe include like stickers or something? I have a mushroom sticker pack on my Redbubble, but I'd want to do more detailed ones and be able to get my own sheets and... Anyway, these are plans for another time. I did a lot of the same mushrooms and flowers as I did the last time I did this sort of painting, but I did add a different kind in the back right. If you watched my Arttober videos, one of them was a mushroom painting I did with the Arteza brush pens and featured this type of mushroom. I have no idea what they're called, but I think they're super cool and offer interesting detail to the piece because it's a bunch of like wide bell-shaped caps stemming from like one thin stalk, and yeah, I don't know, I just think they're neat. The Arttober series I did for the month of October is gathered in a playlist, and I'll link that down below too if you want to check those out. The quality of art is obviously a little less than my 100% best, because I was trying to put out a video every single day, but I still think it's an impressive feat since this is the first year I've even come close to completing one of these challenges, let alone also filming, editing, and uploading almost every single one. So yeah, link for that is in the description. After I finished the watercolor, I loosely inked the subjects with a black fine liner. I say loosely because I feel like if I had connected all the lines, it would have felt a little too cartoonish rather than, I wouldn't call it semi-realistic, but definitely somewhere between semi-realistic and cartoonish, you know? Am I making sense? Probably not, because I don't feel like I ever make sense, but who knows. Then I took a white gel pen to add a couple strong highlights here and there. This is easily one of the best white gel pens that I've found, the Uniball Signo Broad Pigment ink. But that being said, it still takes a couple strokes just to get the white to be opaque enough because it is a gel pen and gel pens do weird things. But it might also just be that I'm trying to use it on top of freshly dried watercolor. But that's kind of just a guess on my part. I don't actually know what's going on. I mean, I never know what's going on. Either way, I got it to work just fine, and it didn't frustrate me as badly as I make it seem. Once I was done with that, I brought the camera a little closer so that you could see the tape peel. Do you find it as satisfying as I do? Because seeing the crisp line of color is super satisfying. Okay, second and last piece you'll see in the video. This is a version of something I saw on Pinterest. It's a simple wet-on-wet technique with washi tape acting as a sort of masking fluid so that once it's removed, there will be negative space where there's no watercolor at all. Confession? I'm really bad at the wet-on-wet technique, so I thought that this would be good practice that wasn't too high stakes and would also come out looking at least relatively decent even with my limited skill in the medium. I used two colors at first, cobalt teal and wisteria purple, which I love together. I think they're so cute. But I felt that just these two colors wasn't enough, so I took the gold shimmer color that I have and added that in places too. I tend to overwork the paint and the paper when I do this technique because I have this need for control that is impossible to have with watercolor. And these watercolors being in pans does admittedly make it hard to get a lot of pigmented color quickly, which I know is the point of watercolor. It's a transparent medium, you're not supposed to have it super opaque. But I always see these cool videos where it's instant and effortless and it's super misleading. That being said, I tried my best to compensate and I think it worked out alright in the end. Especially with the gold shimmer. Good choice on my part. Good job, me. After taking off all the tape, I noticed that water tends to escape a little more easily under the washi tape, but it wasn't too bad. Nothing I couldn't cover with the white gel pen. But I also took the gold paint marker and outlined all the shapes because I felt that the piece just needed something more. And then I used the gel pen to add more lines that cut through the shapes because I still felt it needed more. Basically, I'm just saying I don't know when to stop. And again, the gel pen took a couple run-throughs to get as opaque as I desired, but there's still plenty of ink inside the pen and it didn't get clogged at all, so it really wasn't much of an issue. I just like to point stuff like this out in case you have some of these supplies and are confused as to why you might not see the results that other people get. Even if I don't show the struggle, I'm trying my best to note the minute detail and my thoughts on the supplies so that you can get a better idea of how they work. Anyway, I think this came out really well and I hope my friend likes it. I'm going to try and send these out before Christmas, but I've already told them all that these may make it to them quite late. In a few days, I'll have a post on my Twitter and Instagram showing all the postcards I painted, so keep an eye out for those. I have both my Twitter and my Instagram linked down below as well. They're usually in every video. So I know this wasn't the video I planned for, but I had fun making these, and I hope that they were at least semi-entertaining to watch, or that I was semi-interesting to listen to. My voice is a little weird this video because I'm trying to run downstairs, take care of the dogs, run back upstairs and record, and, back and forth every couple seconds. So I sound very out of breath, and my vocal fry is probably more obvious, but hopefully it's not too noticeable. I mean, I just kind of said it, so it's gonna be more noticeable now, so oh well. I got a notification that the gift I ordered for myself for the video that's supposed to go up on Christmas Day is not going to be delivered until after Christmas. So there probably won't be a video uploaded that day, unless you have any ideas you'd like to share. So like this video and leave a comment if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing if you want to see more content from me. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!